Hey guys, the next build that I'm working on is a 1/72nd scale model of the Millennium Falcon. This particular model is from Bandai, and it's their perfect grade version, which includes a lighting kit, it includes decals, and it also includes some photo etch parts. So anyway, that's the model that I'm working on, or the version I'm working on. There is another standard version. You can go on the internet, you can see what the differences are. There are a little bit of there's some confusion around it, but just take a look at that and do your research before you buy. But anyhow, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is something that it won't be easy to show once everything is put together. So this, you can see this really is still work in progress here. The only thing I've done is I've built up, I think, 90% of the parts. There's still some parts that will need to be put on once I actually snap the top and bottom pieces together here. I put on a layer of black primer. You can see here I'm starting to mask off some areas for the base coat process, which I'll be planning on using the Tamiya AS20 Insignia White rattle can base coat. So we'll see how that goes later on. But what I want to talk to you guys about is the mounting of this. The kit comes with a standard tabletop mount, but I wanted to have some flexibility. Not sure if I want to mount it like on a wall or on a table or whatnot, but I wanted a more secure mounting point from the bottom. So this particular video will just be walking through some of my thoughts around what I'm planning on doing. Hopefully it works out. I'm not 100% sure if it will yet, but let's have at it. So the first part here, let me just take off the top part and we'll open up the insides so that you can see what's going on. So basically it's this area here. Let's see if I get the camera closer. And I've already completed some modification here. You can see I've widened up this area. There's a piece under here that I've widened out. But basically my whole purpose here was I wanted to be able to mount the bottom turret and have it, I guess, installed invisible from the outside. There's a lot of mounts that come up through the center section here, which is fine, and there's others that completely just block this area and you have this kind of custom mount right here. But I wanted to see if I can keep this bottom turret in place. So that's how it would be installed. And then you also have the upper ramp details, so it fits in like that. So you can see here it doesn't give you a whole lot of room to put together a mount of any sort. So let's take this out. So what I ended up doing first was trying to map out what this whole area looks like. So I took some basically note cards, fabbed up this little template here to give me an approximate shape of the area, since I do want to keep the space open. And then from this I took a piece of aluminum that I found at the local hardware store and basically came up with a copy of this paper version and cut out the shape. And basically what it ends up looking like is that this will fit in like that, and that hopefully will reinforce this bottom section, because people that know, the Bandai plastic is actually quite soft. There's not a whole lot of plastic in this particular area, especially if you see how I've cut this out to put the screw through. I wanted something a little bit more secure. So the plan is I have this piece here. I will epoxy this down to the bottom, so that'll be a nice secure mounting point. And then what this will look like is this part will still be able to fit in like that. And then if you can see here, so I had to mill out a little bit of the plate here, because what I found out was when this upper corridor detail is installed, there's a piece here that the metal basically is too thick, so I had to mill out a section there so that this corridor piece will sit flush. But anyway, that's why that's there. So in theory, how this would look once this is all mounted, but I'll show you. So what I planned on doing was, let's see here, zoom out just a little. So I have this plate, I have a screw through here. Actually, oops, hang on. Alright, so I'll put this all together. The nut behind it. And the plan here is to epoxy all this down as well. So that'll hopefully secure everything. And honestly, by the time all of this is installed, I'm not going to be able to get back into this anyway. So plan is that will sit flush like that. And then, let's see here. What I also did was I took one of these standoffs from the hardware store. That looks like that. And then I basically rounded off the edges so it looks like that. So you can see the difference there. But and this honestly just for some of the clearance issues that I'll show you in a second. So assuming this fits in nicely there, zoom out a little more. On the back side, let's see how I can do this. So you'll see how that protrudes out there. I do want to put the back cover on, so that has to be below the edge of the bottom of the Falcon there. And then what this will do is, that can screw in just like that to be a nice mounting point. Okay, and then I can use one of these this is actually one from Panavise, but you'll find these are like the closed circuit TV mounts and whatnot, but this would then fit into here. Oops, let's get that back on camera. Like that, and then it should all sit like that. Okay, so that's the idea here. I'll show you more about this mount in a second, but anyway, that's the idea with the Falcon at the moment. So if you guys have any other thoughts, ideas, suggestions, whatnot, please leave a comment. But this is the current plan at the moment, and then so everything should then fit. I should be able to preserve the bottom turret. And just to let you guys see, this Panavise mount has a couple of extensions. So there's these two extensions here. I got this from Amazon, so if you search for Panavise closed circuit TV mounts, you'll see this. So there's a couple extensions here, so that I could choose the height of how far I want this to stand up. That's how that installs. And then the bottom piece is this, a little rubber grommet there, and this will mount to that, and then that'll be mounted on a wood base. So anyway, that's the plan. So thanks for watching. Like I said, any thoughts, comments, ideas, suggestions, leave a note here. But besides, if there's nothing else that changes, this is the plan for the moment, and hopefully it all works out in the end. Thanks. Take care. Hey guys, after the initial video, I kind of thought about this a little bit more, and instead of using the bolt with this, I actually thought about something else. So what I did here is I epoxied a washer to this mounting plate, and what I'm thinking is that I'll take one of those standoffs. I've sanded down the end here to fit into this, so then this would sit in like that. And the idea here is then I would use threaded rod. I would able to go through this, which, you know, obviously you would be able to see this from the underside here. I'm not going to move the whole Falcon. You guys saw it before, but basically it would protrude from the bottom like that, and then the little mounting adapter would screw into that, right? So you guys saw that before. But instead of using the bolt, I thought about this concept here, and the thinking behind this is that when I go to paint the underside of the Falcon, this will be upside down, and if I didn't want to lay it on the insides, if I wanted to mount it somewhere to make it easier to paint, not just the base coat but also all of the weathering and the panels, whatnot, then I can have this inverted, and then I can mount the Panavise mount to this with this adapter here, and I could just move it around as needed. But I think this is the plan I'm going for, so wish me luck with that, and that's it. So stay tuned. Take care. Bye.